Hello everyone, welcome to another workshop with Tracey as part of the Stepping Stones project. Today we just do that little introduction into the tools that you're going to use generally when you're at your allotment. They are your buddies really. As we all know, this is the spade. People automatically go and dig with the spade. The spade is very good for you to use when you're starting on your plot and it's been overgrown. That's very good for digging in sections to turn over your soil, and it's very good for especially if it's covered in grass and you're going to like slice off your top of your grass, dig down to do your double digging. But I'll talk about that at another time. But this is good for your spade. Don't forget to look after your tools after you've used them. As you know, I tell you, wash them down. It'll keep them in good order then. Some people go digging with your fork first of all, but use your fork when you want to turn your soil over to get air into it and break up your soil. So you start off with your spade, or if you've got an area that's been dug before, use your fork. Dig over, get that air into your soil, which is very good. And always remember, when you've got air into the soil, do not walk over that area then, because you'll put it all down and all your hard work will just go away then. So that's your buddy, the fork. The other one is your rake. Once you've dug over with your fork, rake over to make all your area nice and level really. So that's good for you to start with at the beginning of the season. Also you can use your rake to make sure that there's stones in there to go out. The other thing that we use is like a sieve. It's a round black sieve. Put your soil into that, shake it back and forth as you wriggler, and that'll get all your fine soil will go back down, and it'll keep your stones and your clumps really of soil that's not very good. And then your other tool is your hoe. This is very good when you're weeding. What you need to do is to just push along, lift your weeds up, because once you've lifted them you can leave them on the top of the soil, especially in the warm weather, and they'll just die then really. But this is a very good tool for your weeding. And as we know, once spring is gone, your weeds will just come up. You know, I like my saying is, they want to be your good friend, but don't let them be your good friend. Keep your weeds out, because it does stop your plants growing, because they can strangle around the roots really. So use your hoe to do your weeding. You can also use your hoe to draw your line when you're sowing seeds direct into the ground, and you can use your hoe as well to push the soil back over. So all your tools have more than one use. And then your hand tools is your trowel and your hand fork. Your trowel can be used for your weeding. It can be used for doing your line when you drill sowing into the ground. And your fork as well is very good for your weeding, and also for lifting your plants for lifting. So those are your hand tools as well. They are tools that we all like to have, and they do come helpful on your allotment. And the other things that are optional are your wheelbarrows, things like I spoke about, your dibbers, and the ones that pull out your plants as well. They're all optional, because I know you can use your fingers, but they do help you as well. And a trug, which is your little basket that when you go home from the allotment with the veg that you've grown, all your flowers, put them in, and it's a nice feeling to have your little trug to walk home from your allotment as well. Sometimes it's good things that when you start to grow, family and friends find out, and they buy you these little gifts as well. So you can always drop hints everywhere for people to buy you, because this Christmas I had lots of things. And also what's really helpful on the allotment is a little knee pad for you to put on the ground, so that protects your knees as well. And wellies. You know, these are my short ones and my welly socks. You can get short wellies, long wellies, posh wellies, you know, so don't forget your wellies when you come to the allotment. Change over your shoes, put on your wellies. This is my allotment coat. As my mentor said to me when I was learning like many years ago, oh, don't wear your best things to the allotment then. But this is my allotment coat, and your gloves. And your gloves are gardening gloves. There's waterproof ones and there's cotton ones. So these are waterproof ones. and they're breathable as well. You can get them in small, medium and large. You can get trendy gloves. You know, I got gloves all over the allotment, I think, in my sheds. So these are really good because they do look after your hands. Be careful as well when you are digging, because you never know what's in the ground. So under health and safety, we like to say to people, have a look at your tetanus, make sure your tetanus is up to date. Wear your gloves, because there's lots of spiky things. When we're cutting back the raspberries, they got little spikes on them and they do go into your hands. And the last thing I love to have in my bag or in my shed is some hand cream. Is to protect your hands, because you know your hands are going to be wet. They're going to be going into soil. So afterwards, give them a little treat and put some hand cream on them. Even you men as well need a bit of hand cream as well on them. Okay then, bye then.